I was in high school during World War II, and there was a concern that if enemy bombers came, they would bomb Pittsburgh, but certainly we were a target. So they needed air raid wardens, they needed all kinds of civilian help, and my best friend and I volunteered to be airplane spotters.
I was drafted, and I went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri for basic training, and then I went over to Korea.
Now, like nighttime, the lights all had to be out. You didn't have any lights on at all. They didn't want the enemies flying over to see. The moonlight would be there, and that would be the only light that you would have.
It was the time of World War II, and my father was in the war. Didn't see him much. He was a bombardier. I remember him coming home on leave every once in a while, but my mother basically took care of us.
The end of World War II. I have visions of all the military men walking down B Street in Pennsylvania with the fire trucks and the police cars wailing their sirens.
I went to all these rallies that I saw Adolf Hitler speaking, and they would show films downtown. I would go to.
My husband served in the Army during the last part of the Korean War.
As a child, I felt the war and the effect it had on my parents, and I felt them being frightened. That made life uneasy for me as a child, frightening for me.
They don't have the fears, that we had, but they have their own. A virus.
Mm-hmm. It's just spreading rapidly. People are catching it in ways they didn't think they were going to be able to catch it. So it's very unpredictable at this point, and I think that's what's the scary factor for most people, is that there's no way to say, I'm going to do these 5 steps and I'm not going to worry about it, because those 5 steps don't actually exist as of yet.
You really don't see heroes come out until there's quite a tragedy, and we certainly have a tragedy on our hands with a virus.
I believe a hero is anybody who does something over and above, does something to better the world. But there's always a cost involved.
It's like a soldier who goes to fight for the people back home, or it's a first responder, like the people in the medical field who are risking their health to save the people who are unhealthy.
I feel like I'm at risk. Just because everyone's leaving the building and we're all going to do our own lives and we all come back, and so I think that it's a risk for everyone.
I think they're heroes just coming here and interacting with us as pleasantly as they do.
There's no one pushing them, saying you must do this. They're doing it of their own volition, and they're taking a chance. And I just consider the whole staff heroes. Just the fact that they're here every day and they keep smiling. And that's important.
It's always let your servant's style be bigger than your ego, which means you should always serve people before you serve yourself, which is something I just try to live by. I don't think I'm a hero, I just think I come and do my job.
Now I see him as a hero. He was in the war. He sacrificed for his family and for generations to follow him. So I see him as a hero.
This was just an amazing generation. Even the ones that may not have served, they still have an amazing story of service.
It's almost embarrassing because the things that they went through were just so much more life-altering, I think.
Just all the experiences that they've been through and the amount of wisdom and knowledge that they have. And I just think that they were able to overcome a lot of experiences and just hardships that happened to them.
They're just strong people. And amazing. I'm very grateful for them.
Right now, I think with watching the news and hearing information, they're the generation people are scared for. It's a big conversation that's happening, and they don't seem to be even thinking of themselves, even though they're the ones physically being told they can't leave their rooms, or they're being quarantined, they still go out of their way to ask, how's it at home? What is your husband doing?
I'm not concerned. I think it's my age. I don't have as many years as Bree does, and all her plans that she's got. She needs a chance.
Considering heroes, she is a hero to me. Because she does what she does every day. And she goes home to her daughter.
Coming in every day, even if it's risking my safety and my husband's safety and what could happen at home, I still feel like I have a responsibility to Betty and a responsibility to Winston, somebody who I watched me grow up in a sense. I owe it to them in that manner, not just as a staff member, but as an extended family member.
It's made me realize how important people are and how soon in this day and age things can change.
You got a terrific bunch of people here. You know, they help me through the day. They're like part of the family, yeah.